Well, it all follows growing support for the backbencher on social media. Indeed, the movement's been dubbed Moggmemtum by his fans.
Now, we've talked before about Corbyn mania and the huge support for the Labour leader on social media and at Glastonbury. But this week it's been suggested that there's a new, unlikely political star of social media.
Now might not be one of those times, but there seems to be loads of people at the moment who just really love Jacob Rees-Mogg. Maybe it's because he himself posts to social media, even when he's faced with setbacks. And it doesn't stop there. There's even a campaign to make him PM.
And Jacob Rees-Mogg is a new convert to social media, already with 40,000 followers on his Instagram and Twitter accounts, with many enjoying his humour.
So we have just over 12,000 signatures so far, and 4,500 people have liked us on Facebook.
Gosh, that's a lot of Rees-Mogg love.
But actually, in the course of the last couple of weeks, we're seeing a bit of a Rees-Mogg rebrand, aren't we? Because you're now on Twitter, you're now on Instagram. I mean, this is a very 21st century Jacob Rees-Mogg now, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it's much of a rebrand. My first entry on Twitter was in Latin.
But whether he likes it or not, more and more people are supporting him.
His support isn't just the grassroots of his power base in North East Somerset, but, as his local paper once said, he's got Moggmentum.
Theresa May is the most uninspiring Prime Minister ever. I do so wish she would unselfishly resign and allow Jacob Rees-Mogg to take over the leadership, says Gavin. And I get here, she's doing my head in. I've had it. I can't be with the Tories anymore. I want Mogg for PM and not a Labour government. And then I get Travis saying to me on Facebook, Jacob Rees-Mogg to take over perhaps. At least he's interesting to listen to and wants us out of the EU.
Whatever it is, the Rees-Mogg has inspired a generation of photoshoppers and meme creators on the internet, and he gets everywhere.
Exactly. I mean, I'm an editor of a meme page called Middle Class Memes for Rees-Moggian Teens. And
I'm so pleased you told me that.
You'll absolutely love it.
Someone's even interviewed him about what he thinks of these memes, and that's been really popular.
Now, Jacob, on this show, we've seen over the course of the last few weeks, particularly, Mogg mania, or is it Moggmemtum? I mean, I've got a tweet here, Moggy, in, and there is this wave of popularity coming, this now trendy old Italian that people are rallying to.
If I say the word Moggmentum to you, how does that make you feel?
I think it's a terrific pun, and I quite like the juxtaposition between somebody of my conservative tastes and Mr. Corbyn's red in tooth and claw socialism, and that we should both have the same slogan attached to us.
Though, I have to say, in the last couple of weeks, Moggmentum does actually appear to be happening.
One man has even had that word tattooed to his chest.
Rakesh Shah from Rotherhithe wants to know, when will you give Jacob Rees-Mogg a cabinet job?
That was the most nervous, prolonged laugh I've heard her utter since she was asked in the election campaign whether she thought Nigel Farage should go to the House of Lords.
The Private Eye had a wonderful selection of names that I should give to my next child, and I think that there's Moggy McMogface was my favourite.
But ever since the election, the support for the MP is increasing, with some tipping him as the next PM.
So it's enjoyable summer talk, but I wouldn't take it too seriously.
You're not tempted in the future whenever there is that leadership contest?
Well, may Mrs May live forever, amen, amen, alleluia, alleluia, amen.
Although he's also playing down his prime ministerial ambition, Moggmentum is going nowhere.